to Market on Close. Time now for Options Corner, and I'm very pleased to say we've got Kevin Green standing by to break it all down for us. What levels are you watching ahead of the close, KG? Is it as quiet as it looks there?
Yeah, it's a pretty boring day, Sam, when you're kind of looking at it. And obviously, the price action has been kind of moving lower here throughout the day. But when you're looking at the volume, it's not really too aggressive one way or another here. If we're looking at the morning levels that we talked about earlier this morning, the 60-90 level, for the most part, is kind of trying to hold up. We did break below it, but we've been within range here. So what you would like to see some buyers kind of stepping in here, trying to at least push it to the upside. I'm not sure if we're going to get to that 61.25 level to the upside here, but it does appear that we might be looking for some form of some pen action at the 6100 level. If we go to the intraday chart, you can kind of see that we're trying to break out, maybe try to get to that 6100 level. We are right now kind of still trading within this range between 60.85 and 60.95. So it's been, for the most part, a little bit of a boring market, stalling out a little bit. You do see a significant amount of concentration in this market as well, especially when you're looking at technology. Semiconductors are obviously outperforming. Nvidia hitting new all-time highs. It looks like it might be a closing high for Nvidia as well, but you are not seeing that broad market participation like we saw yesterday. If we have any form of a breakdown, you're still looking at around that 60.80, 60.85 level to be able to hold here. Just like yesterday, kind of looking for some compression, not looking for any type of real massive squeeze to the upside or massive breakdown at this point.
Yeah, technology no doubt in the driving seat today, particularly when you look at some of those Mag 7 names. And as you pointed out, also when you look at the semi-software spread, certainly seeing a rotation there. But other things you're keeping tabs on today, KG, the SPX, the NYSE advanced declining stocks. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so if we look at a comp chart of the advanced declining stocks in the NYSE for the NYSE and the S&P 500, you could see pretty much throughout the day that we did not have a lot of participation or momentum. We did see a little bit of a spike up here, but obviously we are now fading a little bit more, actually a little bit more aggressively here too. So we might have one of these mega cap names actually selling off here today. If you're going into the close, you obviously would like to see that NYSE or that ADD line, if you will, kind of moving to the upside. That's that white line. That'll give you a little bit more of a foundation that hopefully these prices, these current levels in the S&P 500 are going to be able to hold. But once again, I mean, if you're kind of looking at it, the technicals kind of line up right now that we should be seeing some all-time highs here soon for the S&P 500, hopefully. The only thing you get a little concerned about is the fact that we are seeing green days, but you are starting to see a trend of lower volume on a day-by-day basis. If you're looking at the E-mini S&P 500, or if you're looking at the SPY. Now, some of that could be obviously lack of momentum. Some of that is also going to be seasonal in nature here. So we might be starting that environment or continuing that environment here, that summer trade, which also could be an environment that allows the market to actually squeeze fairly significantly, either to the upside or downside. And I think you're starting to see that within individual stocks like Nvidia today, which is obviously seeing a lot of aggressive volume on the options front. That I think is also another reason for the catalyst for Nvidia moving aggressively higher today.
So a bit range bound, a little change as far as the S&P 500. You mentioned some of those volumes. Just wondering what else stands out to you in terms of volume in today's trade, KG?
Well, what stands out is the options volume is still actually looking pretty healthy. So if you kind of compare equity volume compared to options volume on the index front for the S&P 500 options, they actually look pretty decent, even though on the individual equities, it might be a little bit light here. This is the S&P 500 composite up minus down volume indicator here. You can see this on TOS. Not a very big day either way here, if you're looking to the upside or downside. So once again, kind of muted, maybe a little bit of compression in this market. I think there's still a fair amount of economic data on the calendar over the next 2 trading sessions to really still get this market moving higher with PCE, as well as some other economic data points that we will see over the next 24 hours or so. But for now, kind of a lackluster day. You would like to see all-time highs for the S&P 500, but we're still in the right direction. It doesn't appear yet that we are seeing any type of contraction. The hedging activity has kind of picked up a bit, but rightfully so. Once you get to these levels, you probably want to see some portfolio managers selling out of their current puts, rolling those puts to the upside in order to kind of lock in some of these gains, hedge their portfolio a little bit more. So overall, it looks like a decent day, Sam, here. I'm not seeing anything that really scares me and or anything that really does show that we might see a dramatic squeeze going into the close today.
It's good to know that you're not scared, Kevin, and I suppose taking a bit of a breather and looking for the next catalyst to these markets. Thank you so much for the breakdown. Really useful, Kevin Green.